Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I am here. If you see me looking up, I'm really looking to see if they have any ripe starch mango on this tree, people. At this present time, I am below a calabash mango tree, and next to it is a starch mango, my friends. They have a few green ones on it. So my friends, morning Trinidad and Tobago. I bought the Guardian this morning and it have a lot of information, a lot of news. I saw here where, well, we know that the former Prime Minister would have made some statements yesterday where he called a press conference. That is also, some of the information can be found in the Guardian, but I saw an article in the Guardian and it says our Prime Minister, Preston George, welcomes Trump-Maduro talks. This is the caption in this article. Our Prime Minister welcomes Trump and Maduro talks, because we would have, most of us or some of us would have seen the interview where the Americans, the reporters would have asked President Trump if he's open to discussion with Maduro, and he said yes, and it appears as though, you know, some type of talks may take place. It appears. So our Prime Minister is saying she welcomes, you know, the talks. And my thing here is, and also in this same newspaper there's another article where she was saying that, in fact, at the headline, where Trinidad and Tobago, you know, like, will not be a launching pad, will not be used as a launching pad by America to attack Venezuela, which sounds good, you know. The question is, can we trust our Prime Minister? Can our Prime Minister be trusted even when it appears as though she is saying the right thing? Can we trust her? Trinidad and Tobago. She have lied to us so many times, on so many occasions, continuously. Can we trust her? Because this is the same Prime Minister who had invited America. They did not make any requests to come and use Trinidad and Tobago as a base to launch attack against Venezuela when there appeared to be some type of dispute between Venezuela and Guyana. This is the same Prime Minister. She did not invite America to come and talk. She invited them to come and use it as a base to launch whatever attack that is needed. Yeah? Whenever, to destroy the lives and to kill these Venezuelans and them. Yeah? When they appeared to have had some dispute with a piece of land that seemed to have a lot of minerals in it between Venezuela and Guyana, our Prime Minister invited America. Now she is saying something else. Now she is saying that here will not be used as a launching pad. So, what should we believe, my friends? Tell us. Yeah, because she's saying here, now that she is welcoming, she welcomes the talk, or you know, there's in the air that they may have some talk, some discussion may take place. What was her role in bringing about those talks? What was Trinidad and Tobago's role in encouraging the talk that appears to somehow materialize or looking like it may happen? What was Trinidad and Tobago's role in if any at all? Anybody could tell me or tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago? What was our Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago role? in attempting to bring about the talks that she's now claiming that she's welcoming conveniently and suddenly. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, when you're going to read these papers, rather than stay out of the people's business, she's now trying to give advice as to how the talk should go and what should be the discussion in this newspapers here. This is the same Prime Minister who seemed not to even understand what peace of zone is conveniently because she wants war. Yeah, not discussion and not talk. She wants war. Yeah, she wants to kill the people in Venezuela, destroy their lives, and steal from them their natural resources, my friends. Yeah. Now, it appears as though some talks may take place. She's welcoming it. Yeah. But let me tell you, after she said she's welcoming, you know, the caption, I'm going to just read something again, what she said. There's the problem of the humanitarian crisis, where millions flee oppressive regime. She added, listen to this, people, I support both dialogue and direct action. So she's still letting you know, yeah, I support dialogue and direct action. Yeah. What you really want to tell us, my friends, yeah, because our country had no role. Yeah. It had a conference just the other day where they all sign on. Some of the European countries, the United Nations, the Latin American countries, and also CARICOM sign on that this area should remain a zone of peace in a conference in Colombia, my friends. Our Prime Minister was supposed to go there and share her concern with her peers representing us. She sent somebody that nobody in Trinidad and Tobago knows, nobody voted for. And he went there and talked once of that stupidness, my friends. And now, she is saying in one breath, she welcomed Trump-Maduro talks. But let me tell you something, eh? She added, I support both dialogue and direct action. What is direct action she talking about there? That is the same direct action, my friends, that causing Venezuela to view Trinidad and Tobago as their enemy. Direct action. Come, use our base, use Trinidad and Tobago as a base to bomb Venezuela. That is what she said. That is what she said. Now, but when the Venezuelans, you know, recently, just maybe 2 days ago or even yesterday, the reporters would have asked her what is her views on how she views the presidency or the president of Venezuela. Is Maduro, do you accept Maduro as the president of Venezuela? She refused to answer that question, my friend. She said, I've already spoken. Already spoken what? That's a simple question to answer. That is the same man a few weeks ago. You went crawling and begging. You went crawling and begging for the oil and gas that belongs to the people of Venezuela. Now they're asking you if you recognize the Maduro as the president, and you can't answer that question? My friends, what the Venezuelans and them know, she might be able to fool, he said that dunce people in Trinidad and Tobago, but she can't fool the Venezuelans and them. She can't. She cannot fool the people of Venezuela. Yeah. With these Venezuelans, it's not Monday night forum, you know, or forum, you know. Is it how that? Yeah. They know, the people of Venezuela knows who are their enemy. They knows, if you don't know, long before this time, Kamala Persad removed Nicolas Maduro as the president of Venezuela in our parliament, declaring a man called Juan Guaido is the president. Yeah. and was glad, yeah, to support, yeah, the destruction of the people, government of Venezuela that the people voted for. Yeah. No, yeah, the deceitfulness, my friend, the dishonesty. When the rest of CARICOM was telling her, listen, there's another way. There is another way. The other way is dialogue. This place here must remain a zone of peace. Yeah. Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, Mayor Motley, Mitchell, Irfan from Guyana. Yeah. She said, no, we will not be part of that discussion all they're having about go and talk. Yeah. And I have some big warship and submarine with atomic and high power plane and yeah, with bombs and things. What talk you talking about? What dialogue? Yeah. Yeah. Rather than dialogue, my friends. No. But I wanted to ask a question yesterday and I didn't get to ask it, so I'll ask it today. Trinidad and Tobago, if at all war start in Venezuela, how long we estimate that war will last? How long? How long the war in Venezuela will last? There are about 30 million people. And in order for America to bring the type of equipment and modern high power warship with the best, according to them, the best army and equipment in the world against Venezuela, it means that they know something that we don't know. America is aware of something that we, Trinidad and Tobago, are not aware of, where Venezuela is concerned. The amount of firepower and real firepower, my friends, yeah, expensive equipment, yeah, against Venezuela, who so far appears, when you look, just the people in the street, there are no big warship, they didn't look like they are nothing, they didn't even sounding aggressive, but like America knows something that we in Trinidad and Tobago seem unaware of. Yeah. 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 Because, my friends, the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister yesterday, shared some information with the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And I have been calling and asking why those in government will not come and be honest and talk to the people of Trinidad and Tobago as to the real situation that we are facing, my friends, both economically and also what appears to be a real war may start right next door to us, my friends. Our Prime Minister and nobody in government, no one in government has come to the people and explained to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, if at all, to go about preparing, how you go about preparing when the war starts, how you as the government is going to treat the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what you have in place in case war starts. Is every man for himself with no guidance? Tell us, and you know, there are those people who, rather than condemn the Prime Minister for the utterances and bringing us to the point where we are viewed as the enemies of Venezuela, my friends. And she can talk all what you want. the people of Venezuela are aware that Kamla Persad Bissessa, under her leadership, Trinidad and Tobago is now viewed as the enemy of Venezuela, my friends. She could talk what nonsense she want to try to talk now. You know what I'm telling all you? And now, there are persons attacking the former Prime Minister for just bringing a little scenario to us, to give us an awakening. And one of that is that our electricity, you know, Tiantec, the thing that causing us to get light in our house, and we could open the fridge and drink some cold water, and we could watch some TV. And I know this one will get a lot of people crazy, because to charge your phone, you need the electricity from Tiantec. And he now, our Prime Minister, is telling us that just the electricity, and listen, that is Tiantec that supplying power to our hospitals, you know, our health centers, our prisons, our police station, Tiantec. And he is telling us, because he dunce on them, like they really don't know what is happening, my friends. He just draw one little scenario. Rather than the people of Trinidad and Tobago and those in government stop and think and say, well, what kind of dope? Well, they must first find out if what our man saying is true. First thing you want to do, you know, Ms. Bissessa, Ms. Prime Minister, what Dr. Rowley said there about the platform, that if war break out, that all that has to happen is that these big companies don't want the workers, and they will not put their workers in harm's way, so they will have to remove them from the platform. Nobody blow up the platform, eh? No blowing up and no platform. But for the safety of the workers, because their family, them come to go and do no work in no war zone. So now you will have to remove these people. And just by removing them, the platform will have to be shut down. And he is saying in that interview that will affect our energy sector, including Tiantec. No, he was going good, you know. Energy sector, we know well, alright, is wherever they're exporting and importing. No, you're talking about electricity, current you're talking about. It means, and if that happens, how much months we will remain in darkness in Trinidad and Tobago? Well, a lot of people will faint because they can't use, just a phone they can't use. Yeah. You can't charge your phone, just your phone. Yeah. And you know we love the phone. They're trying to kill we. Now, what this man is telling us is, for the first time since this nonsense started, somebody has come to us and brought some type of reality check to us, you know. And rather than these dunce people and them make an assessment and try to know, well, I see the Prime Minister all of a sudden, she done starting to declare like if Trinidad was never involved in anything, and all of a sudden it's a sovereign nation and here will not be used. Yeah. All of a sudden, as though that was not her original stand, my friends. Her original stand is one where we are open for America to come here to launch attack whenever they feel to against Venezuela. Yeah, you feel the Venezuelans and them, you remember that? And they know. Yeah. So what is going to happen, if at all, Trinidad and Tobago, if war break out and current gone, because current will go. It's not two ways about that. When current gone now, it's the gas station, you can't get no gas. So it no work, the place shut down, like the war is here. We ain't shoot nobody. We ain't shoot at nobody. We don't have nothing to shoot at nobody. And our country has been placed in such a position where like it gone beyond crash. That's not the economy crash, you know. It means that the diesel and the gas from the gas station to move around, the gas to cook, the electricity. When night comes, you know, some of you just can't sleep without fan and the air condition unit. The electricity, to have the pumps working so that water could reach in your house, where you could bathe. It has no electricity. So it has some people in this country who never touch water, you know. Yeah. And some of us forget where the rivers and the springs are, you know. Where we getting water? Where we getting water, people? If after 1 week, and it looked like it really a war in Venezuela, and they shut down the platform, according to Dr. Rowley, water, all right, water to bathe, water to flush the toilet. Because if the pump, you can't get electricity, then the pump, so without a bomb or anything dropping here, is that type of Gaza you're talking about. No bombing drop, my friends. No bombs in drop. So the people in ICU and theater and hospital in darkness, doctors and nurses and, well, you can't go to work. You can't reach to work. You can't reach to, if you live in Central in Trogonas and you're working in Port of Spain, how are you reaching to work? And I am seeing where people is attacking this man. When we supposed to be this man is a kind of genius. The man stay wherever he is and he said, look, let me go and talk to them and let them know what is really happening. That man come and tell us, yeah, out of his retirement, the dangers that we really face, because like somehow like we like the ostrich, our head buried in the sand, like if we dotish, falling aside that dunce people in this country. Yeah. Now she is saying, well, she welcoming the talks. Yeah. And talking about drug and drug running and when she had the equipment in her hands to guard and protect us. Yeah. To guard and protect us. Yeah. She cancelled them. Where was the concern? Where was the concern about the drug traffickers, the gun runners, the human traffickers? Where was the concern with Kamla Prasad Bisesa in 2010, my friends? Yeah. When over $1 billion in assets to do the exact thing that is taking place out there with America. Yeah. Now it's not to blow up people both illegally, you know, but to protect, to capture. That's why the helicopters and them was for. To respond at rapid pace, and if they engage you, you have the artillery to match whatever they have and go beyond. That is what we had. That is what she had. What made her cancel them, my friends? What made our Prime Minister cancel them? And now she's pretending that her big concern is drug trafficking and human trafficking, my friends. She can fool. She can fool the set of dunce people in this country that's following her. She can do it. But you see the Venezuelans and them? She can't fool them. You see the Brazilians that they went in the conference and tried to fool? Who would have bought the OPVs and the helicopters and these things to guard their borders from the same drug pushers and the same. We can't fool them. So who they could fool? My friends, the only people they can fool is the dunce one who keep following them and only talking about that stupidness and that dunce talk all about the place. You know, we thought, well, bomb might come here. All they have to do is just leave the platform and then we're in real trouble. That's what Dr. Rowley is saying. Yeah. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, from April the 28th to this present time, what the people of Trinidad and Tobago voted for, they voted for a government that promised them that crime will be eradicated. In fact, they blame a man called Fidel Hines for every time a criminal act takes place in this country. The social media, the news, they're all about is Fidel Hines and the PNM and it's crime and crime and crime. And my friends, every day, today's Guardian, yeah, people invade our next home and kill a couple, shoot them and kill them or whatever. Yeah, a lady in the same newspapers, is killing going on, like, and they're saying how they're treating with the gangsters, and no, if they're treating the gangsters and they had them on the run, then who else again have all these guns? Who have these guns? These are not guns. Where did they come from? That as though every street corner have everybody like they have guns in this country. How that happen? For 15 years, our borders have been left open by Kamla Persad Bissessa, my friends. 15 years. Happy to allow the drugs and the guns to come into this country deliberately and wickedly. Kamla Persad Bissessa. People don't, like, you know, a man got break a bottle of pepper, they're shooting people. Yeah, everybody seem anywhere you go. If you're gonna lime somebody have a gun there. You go by the river to take by the sea, somebody kill somebody by the sea. Like nowhere, like any place are people, partner. Bear in mind that there's somebody there or two persons or three persons with guns. That's what it is here. How every argument end up with somebody shooting and killing somebody. But that is minor so long as the killing taking place more so in the community where persons of African descent resides, my friend. See that? Then everything working out just fine. Everything working out just fine. Yeah. Look at the newspapers here. So dialogue. She know one dialogue. So when let's say well they talk. Yeah. Well they talk, you know. Yeah, right? And Donald Trump decide, well, you know what? We get a better gas deal and from Venezuela, and we think and right and we pulling out and we gone. Where we now getting the gas and the oil to maintain our economy and to treat with the big plans, you know, I said the pie in the sky that was painted. Because, my friends, if they don't have monies to keep the ordinary man in his job, the most simplest of people in our country, ordinary people going their way peacefully, these people have been working, minding their own business, they ain't doing nobody nothing, they're humbugging anybody. And you just came after promising these people that they will not lose, no one will lose when the UNC win, and you dismiss them in a real wicked way. Yeah. Without a warning, without telling them, listen, in the next 3 months, all the pass out all money, nothing at all. Yeah. And not even an attempt to put something in place so that these people could start back to work. And on top of that, persons are continually being dismissed. Up to a few days ago in the newspapers from the AGC, 140 workers from the AGC, my friends. In one papers, I saw 59, and another article, 140 has been dismissed, yeah, from the AGC after being promised and told, listen, that the PNM is the one who's going to fire all you. Yeah. The PNM. Yeah. How them people feeling now? The same man who was speaking yesterday who would have guided this country through a pandemic and a recession, my friends. Yeah. If you have no pandemic, no recession, yeah, the monies that he used to spend on the workers to keep Trinidad and Tobago going until the IMF, not the IMF, until the IMF, yes, in 2024, declared that Trinidad and Tobago for the first time in 10 years was on a steady path of growth. Yeah, the IMF, in 10 years, yeah, that man who was talking on the TV yesterday, that in itself, my friends, is an achievement. Yeah. Yeah. He was able, in a recession, my friends. Yeah. I saw where somebody saying that 20,000 persons was fired with Petrotrin. Yeah. An next lie. Yeah. Between Petrotrin and TSTT, no one was fired. What was offered, my friends, was VSEP. They don't know what VSEP is? Where they were given enhanced packages, including the Petrotrin workers, including land, just as the Carney workers. And you put the two, TSTT and Petrotrin, it in reaching 8,000 workers. Yeah? Petrotrin and TSTT, you put the two set of workers together, it in reaching 8,000 workers that was offered VSEP. Yeah? With an enhanced gratuity and the pension and the Petrotrin get land on top of that. Yeah. But they're so dishonest and nasty-minded. They must come and tell us what the agency workers got, what the RP workers got. Tell us. Yeah? Tell us what the reforestation workers got. If you're talking about giving people things. Trinidad and Tobago, this is what is in the newspapers. Our dishonest, deceitful, lying Prime Minister, yeah, is now claiming that hey, what? Talks, I welcome. When, at what point in this whole melee here, she said, I wish that talks could, that these two people could meet and speak. She had meeting with America when she went to the United Nations. Yeah. When did she report back that I was, while there, I did try to encourage discussion, make an intervention. Yeah. Rather than she separate, she even lie. She and her government ministers and her supporters lie on the CARICOM, saying that CARICOM stand in support of Venezuela, yeah, against Trinidad and Tobago. Lies. Yeah. They have damaged, my friends, they have damaged Trinidad and Tobago. What Trinidad and Tobago is known around the world for, my friends, we are not known for this kind of thing. They have damaged our image, damaged everything about us. Yeah. In Latin America, that is right there. Yeah. The Colombian president, one of his citizens must get blown up in the illegal blowing up our people in the sea there. He asks our Prime Minister if they could secure. Ask our Prime Minister if they could secure the bodies and wherever. She dismiss him. Yeah. Dismiss him. Yeah. 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 Because according to the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, she's a bad John. She bad. Shoot them in the back. Kill them. Blow them up. Yeah. It's truth. She's a bad John. Yeah. But you know in school, now Bajan is the original name for what we just call bully, you know. You know that? The bully, yeah, that we call him the bully, is the Bajan who would advantage, yeah, and but the history will show that those who portray themselves as the Bajan was always the ones who had problems learning in school, my friends. You see the Bajan? What made the Bajan behave like that is because in the classroom, he had problems understanding what was being taught. And it was his way of expressing himself and to hide from unable to do the work and understand the work, the Bajan. That today, and you know what? You would say, but that man dunce. And that's what we end up in the hand with, my friends. We have a set of people in government who bad, including the Prime Minister, the Bajan. That they can't tell she's dotishness she's doing. The dunce. The dunce. Yeah. When the former Prime Minister said she's a Bajan, he really means she's a dunce, you know. Because you see, the former Prime Minister, he can't use that kind of language. But I know what he want to say. He want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago that we have voted for a Prime Minister that is a complete dunce. The other day, I saw a man called Amy Brown trying to describe the actions of the man who went to the same conference, my friends, and talk about border patrol and failing to. The only thing Amy Brown didn't do is because he's a man could speak. So I wondered, I said, well, what words he going to use? I feel he go cuss, you know. I feel a man want to cuss. You could see the man want to cuss and tell him how dunce they are. I said that dunce people we put in charge, my friends. They don't know nothing. My friends, since they come into office, I want somebody to show me something or tell me something that is happening in the positive. Yeah, in Trinidad and Tobago. One of them ministries must have something that is in the positive happening. Somebody, which is we do. Trinidad and Tobago. I started speaking about the shortage of nurses yesterday. And I just want to touch a little piece on that again. In that I just want to call on the TTRNA, Edie Stewart, rather than on a monthly basis or 3 months you turn up on the television to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago we have a shortage of nurses. That can be done on a weekly basis. Your nurses working in the environment, you snap the roster, you see how many people on duty, and they relay the message to you. You compile it, and you come, and you bring it to the people of Trinidad and Tobago for this week. This is what happened in this institution. This is the amount of staff. Because the people not really understanding, when you say short staff, what you really talking about? Because people still going to work, people still going in the hospital, and the nurses fighting, and people walking out, not the best care maybe, but people feel that we are so comfortable because that's what we have and that's what we know. Not knowing what we have and what we know is far from the ideal. So what Edie Stewart supposed to do to be proactive in the interest and the wellness and the well-being of the nursing personnel and the healthcare workers and your members, bring it to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, if not on a daily basis, my friend, on a weekly basis. Because what you're speaking about, the nursing and the shortages, is chronic. Chronic. And now the government is telling us that they are about to open up, planning to open a next hospital that involves the babies, children, that need specialized care. And we all know it don't have that staff. So if it don't have the staff, and they have not tell us that they're going to import the staff, then it means that they're going to take staff from areas that is already short, where 1 and 2 nurses have been operating and functioning, and because they have been doing it for so long, it look and now that look at the full complement of staff it have. So if it have 2 nurses, and that's what's happening, we could take 1. So it might end up now with 1 nurse is enough. So I want to just share this with my friend, my partner, Edie Stewart. All might hear me tell about him. Collect the data. Let your nursing personnel report back to you. Send the info, snap the phone. Let them know, hey, listen, there's 2 staff working on the ward on this shift today. And each shift report back to the union so that the union could have real data in real time rather than come and use a generic term, we short staff and we short staff and we short staff. It is the people not understanding what does it mean. They're not really understanding because short staff becomes a norm. So come to the people with the real figures, the real numbers, so that they could see for themselves and understand and how far they are from, or we are from the best care that they could get. Which, when things happen, would also be used as a protection for the very nurses who is on duty. The burnt out nurses. What Trinidad and Tobago doesn't know. Let me just share this with you. Nurses just come to work and work for 8 hours, 12 hours. 12 hours. Yeah. Now 12 hours is a illegal shift, eh? But the nurses are forced to work 12 hours now in some hospitals. Illegal shift. Because of the very shortage, my friend. And you know, the nurse is unable to leave the ward to even go and get things to eat. Sometimes even if they put the thing to eat, they can't get a chance to eat it. Because there ain't other staff to monitor and to do what they are doing and hold on and so that they could at least take a break. It don't have it. It don't. Yeah, so that is all I want to say and share with the TTRNA. You know, that person is always tell them what kind of thing, but this with the nursing personnel, my friends, I think that is a real serious matter, and it's years, it's short, it's years you keep repeating. Years we keep repeating that it's short, it's short, it's short. But all the people of Trinidad and Tobago really understanding how much staff is really needed and how much staff is manning the wards on a daily basis. And that is what Edie Stewart needs to bring, he and the TTRNA needs to bring to the people of Trinidad and Tobago so that they can have a full understanding of what he's speaking about and what measures need to be put in place to improve our healthcare system, my friends. Right. So Trinidad and Tobago, have a blessed morning. Thanks for giving me this little opportunity to chat with you. Once again, thank you. Until we meet again.